Good morning. My name is Melissa Mansfield, and as you may know, I'm the Executive Director of Patient Care here at the Southeast Center for Behavioral Services. The function of our center is to provide access to a variety of mental health services, such as individual and group therapy and counseling services, outpatient psychiatric care, substance abuse counseling and programs, and social services such as job training and access to resources for employment and housing. Our overall mission is to help individuals manage their mental health treatment plan and establish independence and self-sufficiency within the community. As you know, in the last 24 hours, our nation experienced an act of terrorism. In addition to my role as the Executive Director of Patient Care, I'm also the Director of our Crisis Management Team. Therefore, this morning will serve as a precursor to a meeting that you will facilitate later today with your direct teams. In order to ensure that operations run smoothly at the Southeast Center for Behavioral Services, I would like to remind you of our 5 organizational goals in order to guide our program planning as follows. Our first goal is to provide comprehensive services to individuals experiencing the effects of a mental health crisis. Our second goal is to provide psychiatric care and mental health services to individuals through diagnoses and treatment by creating an effective treatment plan based on the specific needs of each individual and their particular circumstances. Our third goal is to utilize interventions that improve the quality of life for our clients through therapy, medication, the development of coping skills, job training, and assistance with financial resources. Our fourth goal is to promote recovery through ongoing support in order to achieve a better quality of life for each individual. And finally, our fifth goal is to provide support and resources for clients and follow-up care as needed during active care and post-treatment. And so now we're going to look at our crisis management plan and move on to an overview of that. You each received your emergency preparedness plan handbook, and your direct employees will receive that same handbook later today so that you can review it with them this afternoon. It is crucial that the organization has a comprehensive crisis plan in place to ensure that clients do not experience interruptions to their treatment plan and services, and that their mental well-being is being monitored to provide additional support based on the needs that may change during this time. Our proximity to the Port of Houston and the refineries, which could be viewed as potential targets, make it even more imperative that we conduct an overview of this crisis plan. And so the first element of the plan is planning. And we have worked as an agency to provide a comprehensive plan during a time of crisis. The plan includes our handbook, and it also includes a roadmap for how to address each potential threat that has been identified during an act of terrorism. We will provide needs surveys to clients and staff in order to assess risks and implement strategies outlined in the handbook that are aligned with specific needs. Our plan also provides contact information for essential personnel and partnering organizations. And so speaking of partnering organizations, that leads us into the second element, which is partnerships. And as an organization, we partner with our city and our county emergency response team, local emergency teams such as law enforcement and first responders, as well as community organizations and agencies to provide a variety of services. These partnerships allow us to collaborate with others to receive and provide updated and accurate information, which is extremely important. This information will be provided to the community by us, the team leads, to your direct employees, as well as distributed via email and call-out notifications by our crisis response team. We will also provide updated strategies to first responders on how to approach individuals who may be experiencing a mental health emergency and refer them for appropriate care. Please be aware of the resources that each organization provides in order to access the appropriate agency when needing resources for individuals. The plan also includes a sheet for each type of emergency, such as the need to evacuate, shelter in place, or other action steps that need to be taken. Each employee should be aware of their role in the event of a crisis. This is extremely important. And finally, our plan includes steps for mitigation to reduce negative impacts on individuals, expected response times, and a plan for recovery after an attack. And so preparedness is the third element. And in order to be prepared, all employees must be aware of protocols detailed in our disaster plan. We have conducted training and regular drills in order to be prepared for any type of disaster, including a terrorist attack. Be prepared to know your role as a member of the management team, to work with your employees to implement crisis management techniques, and continuously assess the situation in order to be proactive in our attempts to navigate an attack if necessary. The next element is client and staff safety, and this is our number one priority, and I cannot stress this enough. Our planning and level of preparation has been created and practiced with this exact element in mind. Because if you and our other employees are not safe, physically and mentally, then we cannot do our job effectively. Please go over the steps for each drill with employees for each identified threat. Staff should know protocols for sheltering, evacuating, providing crisis care if needed, and who to contact if a situation is beyond the realm of expertise. We need to ensure that we have client contact information immediately at our disposal to reach out to our clients as well. An alert will be sent to all clients and staff with how they can make contact with us if needed. In addition, team leaders will check in on their staff, and case managers will make personal contact with their clients if they are able to do so. I will be your point of contact for all members of the management team. Contacts will be identified in the handbook for all agencies and medical facilities, because in the event of a catastrophic attack, 911 may not be accessible to us. Please remind your direct staff to be vocal if they need to step away from a situation that may be triggering for them, or to practice self-care when they can. In the element of mitigation, the purpose of mitigation is to reduce the negative impact on mental health and disruption of services and treatment. As I said before, this goes beyond mental health care and resources. We have partnerships with social services to assist with housing, loss of employment if needed, and other circumstances. When we are made aware of a need, action must be swift to minimize the impact of a crisis. Clients need to be regularly monitored by case managers to avoid lapses in medication, check on current mental health status, and continuation of treatment plans if they cannot access the center. It is also imperative that we know how to access resources for them if they are having difficulty doing so themselves, and know exactly who to contact. The ability to identify barriers and hazards to normal operations in order to act accordingly can prevent further psychological harm and even save lives. In the element of recovery, recovery is important in order to provide resources and assistance that will assist individuals in resuming normalcy following an attack. Once again, needs assessments will be very important during this element in order to identify specific needs of staff and clients in order to restore operations to the same level or even better than before the attack. Some of the effects of a terrorist attack could be long-lasting due to damage to facilities or infrastructures, and we must have the ability to match resources based on the need of affected individuals. And finally, with the element of response, our response will be based on needs, but they must be directly aligned with continuous assessment of situations, circumstances, and specific needs. Our support does not end once an attack is over. There could be devastating effects that require ongoing treatment and ongoing response to many different situations. Therefore, we will need to regularly assess and debrief in order to respond accordingly. Thank you so much for your time today and for your dedication to our organization and the employees who make this a successful facility. Do not hesitate to reach out if you have questions or need clarification after meeting with your teams. Thank you.